Assalamualaikum everyone, my name is Su Jie. My presentation topic is Economy Institution in Islamic Civilization. My presentation content is a history background of the origin of Islamic economy, basic economy of Islam, and the economic activity and the social practice. I will explain history background of the origin of Islamic economy by Arabian Peninsula in the early 7th century and the emergence of Muhammad and spread of Islam. The Arabian Peninsula was a tribal society in the early 7th century. Its main economic activity include animal husbandry, trade, and agriculture. This economic activity jointly support the development of society at that time. Trade was an important economic activity in the Arabian Peninsula. Located on the maritime trade route between Asia, Africa, and Europe, the Arabian Peninsula is an important hub of trade between East and West. Tribes would ride camels from the desert to trading cities to exchange spices and silk. During the prosperous trade activity, the wealth of Mecca, Tarif, and other places became more and more abundant, prevent ownership development rapidly. The gap between the rich and the poor increased significantly. The original clan and tribal system gradually disintegrated. Slavery emerged and society began to take shape. Mecca is the religious, economic, and cultural center of the Arabian Peninsula, has become the gathering point of this basic social contradiction. People urgently need an emergence of a new system to adjust economic interest, narrow the gap between rich and poor, and ease social conflict. In this historical environment, Muhammad followed the historical trend and spread Islam. Muhammad introduced the Islamic economic system in the Arabian Peninsula. This system adapted to the social and economic conditions and was highly practical and fierce. The main idea of Islamic economic system is economic fairness. Wealth is bestowed by Allah and should be distributed fast among the people. Therefore, Islam has formulated many economic rules and institutions to ensure the realization of economic fairness and social welfare. First, Islam encourages private property ownership, but also it has restrictions and regulations. This is about the slavery of the ignorant period. In addition, Muslims are required to donate a certain percentage of their wealth to support the poor and the social welfare project. This is also equalize the gap between rich and poor. Second, Islam encourages fair trade and a system of contract, and also stipulation the equality of rights and obligations. The basic economic rule of Islam is all things belong to Allah's view, self-made rich concept, and integrity and fair business concept. The basic economic rule of Islam is based on the belief that all things in the universe are created and ruled by Allah. Its main content, as Quran mentioned, all things in the world and all will belongs to Allah. It is Allah's. This fully affirms Allah's final and absolute ownership of all the property in the world. Islam believes that people in the world have the right to control over human property. For all the wealth that belongs to Allah was created by Allah for human beings. That is to say, all things in the world are given by Allah to the world to enjoy. Therefore, people have the right to process and use all the wealth bestowed by Allah. It is legitimate and legal to enjoy material wealth in this world, and it is a right by Allah on human beings. Also, Islam supports self-made rich. Islam advocates taking into account both present and after here, requiring people to work hard, requires reliance on qualified taking ability and labor. Seek out spaciousness and happiness in the two worlds with a positive attitude. Prophet Muhammad said, "You must work in this world as if you want to live forever, and manage the afterlife as if you will die tomorrow." He supported people to encourage him to seek the wealth that Allah has given and to get rid of poverty and become rich. Islam encourages people to engage in commercial activities in accordance with principle of honesty, promises, and trustworthiness. and strictly prohibits all illegal activities such as falsification, shoddy, and profit seeking. Islam believes that commercial activity should have three elements: the parties to the transaction, the goods to be traded, and the agreement to trade. The Quran says, "Do not consume one another's wealth by unjust means, nor offer it as bribes to the official in order to consume parts of another people's wealth as illicitly, will you know." Islam strictly forbids false oaths in the name of religion to sell commodities. The Prophet Muhammad said, "False oaths can sell commodities, but they obliterate the auspiciousness of commodities." Islam places all economic activity, including commodity transaction, under the constraint of the contract, and it has legality and sanctity. And the signing of the contract agreement must be established on the basis of fairness and honesty. Next is economic activity and social practice of Islamic civilization. I will explain this subtopic from obligation of those who possess wealth, reasonable and moderate consumption behavior, and against monopoly business. It is necessary to provide financial resources to other oneself and sound roles, as well as to serve the purpose of fairness and harmony, and to fulfill other social obligations. Selfish, greedy, unfaithful. This is the request from the buyer of Islam, and the accuracy is the patronage of the director. This is a wajib for wealthy people. Islam emphasizes the middle way, that is, recommends that people should be impartial when dealing with things. The wasteful behavior referred to by Islam not only commends wealth and extravagance, but also include unnecessary expense beyond the scope of ordinary necessity. Islam believes that waste and excessive consumption not only will reduce the contribution of investments and economy recession, but also will destroy the social atmosphere and lead people to corruption. Islam firmly opposes monopolistic and dishonest business practice. Any business transaction that involves unfairness, deceit, or exploitation is strictly prohibited by Islam law. The main purpose of Islam economy and the commercial laws is to protect the rights and interests of individual and maintain social unity. A sound economic life system regulated by law. The economic system of Islamic civilization attaches great importance to the real material interests of people and the real life of people in the world, and encourages people to enjoy real life property without violating the will of Allah. Under the influence of this spirit, Islam pays high attention to life in this world, and the activity adjusts the economic interest relationship between people, which is realistic and moral. It advocates that everyone has the right to own wealth, which protect the dignity and property of the people to a great extent, but also it establishes the moderation concept that Muslims should have as agents of earth. That is, billiard wealth is Muslims' way of making a life rather than the goal of life. And then this is Islamic economy thought.